Hello, I'm Dr. Larry Carnes, and welcome to Books of the Month. We're so glad that you could join us for another exciting episode. We have the pleasure of having with us a very special guest, Stacie Ellerson. Stacie, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Do this for us. Speak to our viewing audience and introduce them to Stacie. Tell them who Stacie is.
My name is Stacie Ellerson, and I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I wrote a book maybe about 10 years ago, and I brought it to life
Okay.
10 years later.
Wow. 10 years ago. So you're from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and this book was written 10 years ago, and you bring it to life. Now, this is something very powerful. It says, this is a powerful, dynamic story of the twists and turns of this courageous, savvy author's life experiences. Stacie provokes passion, pain, and compassion with an intense exemplification of power and fortitude. Speak to us, Stacie, about that and share with our viewing audience what you've just conveyed in this.
I keep you hanging on page after page because of the life events, because of the depth, the inspirational part of it, having me to go through the things that I've gone through and to come out and sit on the seat of triumph. You know, it was a very emotional, spiritual journey, and it was also a very healing journey as well.
That's powerful. Now you say emotional, healing, and spiritual. And the title of the book, Sooner Than I Thought. What was it that provoked this title, Sooner Than I Thought? What is it, Stacie, that came sooner than you thought it would come?
Writing a book. I never experienced in writing a book before. This was something that was very new to me. So in writing this book, I hadn't given it a title yet. I just started writing. And so the life events, the things that I faced most in life was death. And as I was writing, I wrote this book, Sooner Than I Thought. So that's why I named it Sooner Than I Thought.
Okay. Now, the life events that really provoked you and inspired you to write, share some of those things with us that are in this book that would be an encouragement to our readers.
The death of my mother, the death of my sister. 10 years later, my father said he would be next, and he was. My best friend lost her son in the same year my father passed. Then the older lady who always consoled me, she died as well. And to put the icing on the cake, her hospital, the hospital that she was in was the same hospital that my father was in, and they were side by side. So this was mind blowing to me. It's just like I couldn't grasp all of the depth they were hitting me from right to left, you know? So it was hard.
Okay. And so you find yourself tragedy after tragedy, something that's impacting your life. You're talking about experiencing loss. Now you talk about, passion, pain, and the compassion. What's the exemplification that's in the book where people who are maybe experiencing some of the same things can be inspired and Stacie can help them navigate their journeys?
I look at it like this. I look at my book as being a recipe, and a recipe that I have all the ingredients to heal you, maybe or maybe not. But it just gives you an example of, how I tapped into the moments of my greatest challenges, and I turned it into literary accomplishment. And that's a powerful thing, So like I said, I combine all the ingredients and I give my audience, an airplane ride. I'm taking you on a first class flight.
Okay.
So maybe this could help someone along the way just to know how to handle death, because we're born to die, and it's nothing that we can do about it. So maybe this will give you just a little bit inspiration on how you can overcome it with not one day at a time, but one breath at a time.
Wow. So, yeah, if I understand you correctly, death is a part of life.
Yes.
And we're all going to experience at one time or another in our lives, either the passing of a loved one or someone close to us.
Exactly.
Now, Stacie, you said you give the recipe. Share with our viewing audience what's a part of the recipe, just some nuggets that you will give them that will assist them in navigating this journey when they face it.
Well, I give you in my book, I give you a lot of different recipes, because in this book, I gave you some laughing, I gave you some crying, I gave you some singing, but more importantly, I gave you some praying. So on the laughing part, I just, besides writing being so serious about it, I had to put in my comical side, because I do have a comical side.
Okay.
So I had to step aside just a little to give a little laughing in there, and it'll help women mostly, the things that I say, the things that I experience, and what we go through in life dealing with men. So I had to throw that in there to give some laughter in there. So it's a prime example of life, really. But this is a true story.
Okay. So now, we have a viewing audience. You have someone who's experiencing some of these things. We talk about the recipe. Give us an example. Give us one of the ingredients. You say you put some laughter in there. You got some joy. You got some pain. You're helping them navigate the journey. Give us a nugget that will assist someone who may be facing some of the same things. Something that's in the book. Give us an example.
I would say we as women, what we go through with men, the things that we consistently take off of these men because we're in love. Where in my book, my recipe, my nugget is look into the mirror and know who you are as a person, and love yourself, and know that you do not have to go through these things, with a man, a partner, whomever it may be. That's one thing. And with a job wise, I talk about me as being a letter carrier for so many years with, a person that's a supervisor that's showing favoritism toward other people, how to handle it. You're not going to go out in a way, to do harm to this person, but come home, think about it, pray about it, and write about it, to give yourself some type of healing. And, not to bring up that anger, but to give yourself some healing. And that's what I did. I put pen to paper and I gave myself a healing.
Okay. So I'm hearing you.
Is that a big enough nugget for you?
I'm hearing you going off into different avenues because it involves a lot. You're saying that you have to learn how to bring those things together. You say you prayed about it, you wrote about it, even you did not, if I hear you correctly, and some of the nuggets that you're giving in the book is that you don't have to recompense people or reward them with what they've done to you. But you can take that thing and come back and pray about it and then meditate on it and gain the victory over the situation. Would that be a correct statement?
Correct. Exactly. You hit it on the nail. Exactly.
Okay. Then you talked about the personal life and you talked about valuing yourself, loving yourself, right? What would be some keys? What would be some keys? What would be some keys to valuing yourself that you want to share with our audience?
You went on mute for a minute because my phone was ringing.
Okay.
But I did hear you say something about valuing myself.
What would be some things that you would share with our viewing audience that would help them value themselves and move beyond the situations and the circumstances that they're facing in life?
Know who you are as a person.
Okay, know who you are as a person, number one.
Look into the mirror and say, I love myself. I love myself. And it's no way possible that I'm gonna allow anybody to mistreat me. No one. I've been this way all my life. It's not something that I'm making up. But more importantly, just know who you are as a person. Know your self-worth. You know you're worth more than that.
Okay.
More than you've been treated. More, I just know what I know. I'm just who I am. I guess that's
Okay.
why I'm still.
So you're talking about, see, when I hear you speak, you're talking about you have to learn to value yourself. What I call this is that your I factor. What's the internal relationship that you have with yourself? Is it a quality relationship that you have with yourself? Because you're saying value yourself, you have a good relationship with yourself.
Yes. And I guess because if you look at it the way everybody is brought up differently, the way that I was brought up, when my mom used to tell us to love yourself, different things that I have in my book, love yourself, have your own. It's more important that you have your own. Be confident in who you are. Go out there and get it for yourself and not having to depend on someone else to get it for you.
Okay.
That's how I look at life. Everything that I've gotten on my own with no help,
Wow.
So yeah.
So that means that you have to learn to persevere through life and do those things that are important. Listen, okay, that's important. Listen, we have 2 minutes. So I want you to do this for us. Do you have an email where they can go purchase this book, email address? Give that information to our viewing audience. You have 60 seconds to do that.
Go to Author's Tranquility Press. It's in Savannah. No, it's in Marietta, Georgia. Author's Tranquility Press. And my book is Sooner Than I Thought. I have a story to tell. And I promise you, you won't regret it.
Email address or anything?
Stacie, that's Stacie, Ellerson, ELLERSON, @gmail.com.
Wow, thank you. Sooner Than I Thought. Go. There are some nuggets in this book that Stacie has written. She's going to help you navigate the journey in your personal life, some nuggets that she gives you to help you navigate the journey, even in the workplace, when you may be facing some obstacles, some barriers, and you know you need your job, but how do you get over that? She says you have to pray about it. You have to search yourself from an internal perspective. Stacie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Optimum blessings to you. Hey, I'm Dr. Larry Carnes. This has been Books of the Month, and we thank you so much for being our guest. And remember to join us right here again next month for our special session. This is Books of the Month. Thank you, Stacie.
Bye-bye.